Hello and welcome to Good Neighbours! I'm Jessie-Lu Flynn, actor, theatre maker and activist.
And my name's Clare Farrell. I'm an activist and I'm also the co-convener of the Humanity Project.
And this is Alex Lockwood, our long-suffering producer and Croydon's finest.
Woo! Thanks, Alex! We're filming live this weekend from Braziers Park. We've hosted a weekend called Grabbing Hope, and it's all about how to deliver community assemblies. So on the show today, we've got guests from this very wonderful venue, Braziers. We've also got a lot of community organisers and partners from the Humanity Project, including Haringey Community Food Network, the Shake It Up campaign in Lambeth, Ridge Hill Together Community, Climate Action Hub in Oswestry, and Marsh Farm Outreach in Luton.
And we've got reports from some brilliant local projects, including Grub and Grape, the community-run Wallingford Winter Jazz and Blues Festival, which I went to today, and which is organised by a friend of the show, Math Potts.
Yes. Woo! And we'll be bringing you some good news, for a change. Britain's Got Tarot. And a Good Neighbours Snakes and Ladders special.
We always have good news. OK, so the theme of this weekend and the show is Grabbing Hope. Clare Farrell, what does that mean to you?
Well, the theme of this weekend has been really built around focusing on the work that's going on all over the country, where people are building a new political culture from the bottom up. People are doing it in all different ways, in different places. Often it comes along with people doing amazing things like running food banks and food services and community centres, but really sort of, building the infrastructure and the social connections that mean that we can actually build up a little bit of hope together.
See, I took it to mean that life is quite shit and you have to just grab hope wherever you can. Can it mean that as well?
It can mean that as well. And
okay, good, because that's the language I understand.
And there's a lot of people in the climate movement who would say that in circumstances like these, you have to earn hope because it's looking quite bleak out there. So yes,
take it where you can get it.
Fair enough.
Does any of our beautiful audience have any ways that they grab hope on a daily basis? Not all at once. I didn't prep you for this, after all.
Take action every day gives you hope. Do something to make a better world gives you hope every single day.
Like what kind of thing? Say hi to your neighbour?
Squat a big empty building.
What? Just on a normal Tuesday. We're definitely at Braziers Park today, aren't we? Squat a building.
Squat an old Sports Direct. Get on with it.
News.
OK, and so into our first segment. Jess is going to do the news.
OK, can everyone go, did it? That's not the news. Hello and welcome to GMTV. This looks ironic on Claire and I just look like a cheesy twat. She loaned it to me. Earlier this week, a jury returned a unanimous not guilty verdict for 6 medics accused of breaking the windows of the bank JP Morgan. The 6 people included a GP, a mental health nurse, and are part of the Health for XR movement. They took on the banking giant, which has spent over $380 billion funding fossil fuel developments since 2015 and $40 billion on paying off its violations. It also spent $290 million on out-of-court settlements related to the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. One of the legendary 6 medics is a friend of the show who helps us out, Ali Rowe. Woo! Woo! She's from the West Country and she hasn't been seen since leaving the trial and entering a cider orchard in Somerset. Go have fun, Ali. Artist, musician, and now children's author Love Sager is throwing his hat into the ring for the BBC broadcaster's job. Right now, the BBC Charter is being revised. The normally shady process has been brought to the public light by Sager, promising to make the process transparent and to be a Director General for the people. Let's hear it in his own words.
Hello, I'm musician and artist Love Sager, and in December 2025 I put in my application for Director General of the BBC. Now, unfortunately, they accepted the application, so for me that's enough. the campaign begins. So let the fun commence, because for such an important role, there's no reason why the whole application process is being done in the dark. So for me, if you're going to do something, go big. And I've got the biggest endorsement I can, and thank you very much, Brian Eno.
Hi, I'm Brian Eno, and I want to endorse Sega as Director General of the BBC.
Yes. And of course, it's the year of the horse. Something most Westerners have never heard of before this year, and now it's apparently of the utmost importance in our lives. The Chinese Lunar New Year began on February the 17th and is apparently, according to Alex, who wrote this, bringing much-needed energetic boost to the entire planet. A fire horse year, which has not happened since 1966, when England won the World Cup. Yay. Know who I am, OK, when you write this. It's a World Cup year, of course, my favourite time of year. So place your bets. What we're mostly hoping for, though, is a bit of this kind of energy for the Gorton and Denton by-election, which is happening as this show airs.
I used to be an ardent Remainer. I voted Remain. I believed in the European project. Mm-hmm. I believed that staying in the European Union was the best thing for us. And then something happened, and something monumental happened. It completely changed my opinion on the whole situation.
What was that monumental thing, Mark?
I was kicked in the head by a horse.
Right, very good.
And that, my darlings, was the news! OK.
You will be pleased. It's now time to invite our first guests up. We've got Sophie and Alex from Braziers Park. You'd like to come and join us on the sofa. So a bit more on Braziers. Braziers Park is a community and a charity for alternative education. We're sitting here in an area of outstanding natural beauty. It's the home of a school of integrative social research, which I'm sure they'll explain a little bit more about. Where they're guided by the triad of soil, soul and society, a framework of ecological and spiritual consciousness from the beloved thinker Satish Kumar. So welcome Sophie Cullington, Education Coordinator and resident here at Braziers, and Alex Rodgalvis, who is the Braziers Park Kitchen Garden Link. Welcome.
Tell us a bit about Braziers Park and its 75-year history, but not in, like, you know, really long way. Take us through day by day.
Yeah, so Braziers Park, we are celebrating our 76th anniversary this year, so 75 currently. We would consider ourselves to be the UK's oldest sort of secularist society. We have a sort of sensory and executive method of being together, in which we try to break down sort of key critical issues into the way in which we sort of emote or feel about them, and then take action sort of separated from that, so we don't sort of continue down the same pathway that we may have done previously. You can think of Braziers sort of as a reaction to World War II and World War I. Sort of people following the same patterns of behaviour led to two sort of terrible eras of horror, and this sort of group of new intellectuals in the 1950s kind of sought to find a better way of being together, to make us sort of conscious of the processes of which we are a part.
I love that. I love what you said, it's secular. Has anyone ever come in and then it has got like a little bit culty? Like someone's just like, worship me. I was quite hoping to experience some of that like culty energy.
I would say we are secular but not devoid of faith.
Okay.
So there is a lot of the foundational thinking comes with an acceptance that faith and spirituality are part of the human experience, but not particularly tied to any sort of Western belief system. As you mentioned, we're an educational charity, and we say that nothing is beyond the purview of our sort of influence. And in the foundational documents, it is about adapting to the current way of being as well. So yeah, we would say that we don't have a particular sort of faith.
But you are open to cultists.
We are open to cultists.
Okay, good.
That's a good fit as well, because tomorrow we're going to have a little Unitarian service from our friend Ruth. So can you explain a little bit more about what's the soil, soul and society sort of framework?
Yeah, so it's mainly the framework which kind of is the foundation for all the events we run here, rather than the community itself. So yeah, as you mentioned, it was coined by Satish Kumar as this kind of framework of spiritual and ecological consciousness. So the soil aspect, it's all about ways we can connect more to the land, and so it's rooted in, back in the early days of Braziers, there was forest schools which took place here for lots of young people, just to learn bushcraft skills, forestry skills, to kind of separate the boundary between, people and the land as like this kind of other entity, and to realize, the system that we're all part, the soil, the wildlife, animals, people, we're all part of the same system. So to think less kind of in a divided way. And then the soul part, it's kind of the idea of trying to heal inwardly as a collective in order to then go out and impact like a social change outwardly. And this idea that if you bring a kind of fractured self into the collective, that ripples out, and actually doing that inner work acts as, it's not kind of a selfish act, it's services that outwards kind of impact as well. And then the final strand, society. I guess hosting events like this, for instance, is very important to us. I think not to become too insular or like a bubble or really separate from the outside world, and not to just kind of self-congratulate that, as a commune we're existing outside of the dominant social paradigm, but instead to continue holding ourselves accountable that we're also challenging that at the same time, and we're doing work to actively, change that and fight against the issues which we take seriously.
How easily could someone come and say visit you if they, they don't think, oh, it's a big commune over there? How could they knock on the door? Are there like projects that they could get involved in?
Yeah, well, we have volunteers who come and stay here for like a few months at a time. We have day volunteers. I mean, you could just totally knock on the door, and we had a postman knock on the door and stay for lunch the other day. It's quite easy. We're quite welcoming.
That's good to know. I think people can be intimidated because you look like you're all having like a great old time, wearing robes, but you are welcoming. I like that. What's it like being part of this community? Really, truthfully. It's challenging.
It's difficult. It takes quite a lot of energy to live coherently with sort of 20 to 30 other people, particularly when we have, as you said, we have volunteers. We sort of have a rotating cast of 6 volunteers at any one time, and quite often actually they might not know it, but they dictate the pace of the community. They are the new force that comes in, and I'm not going to say we're world weary and sort of beaten down, but we know the flow, we know the pace, we know what's coming and going, and when a volunteer group comes in with the energy to change things and make things happen, that feeds into the residential group that live here.
So you could come here and dictate this entire commune. Good or bad, be kind, but do visit. Cool. What is it about deep listening, and why does it matter to this community? And how does one do it when one struggles because they have an overactive mind?
I think deep listening is really integral to the work we do here in kind of 2 strands. I think also in relation to our work with the land, permaculture is built upon, again, this kind of systems theory, which I was mentioning earlier, this idea, humans and the land and wildlife, it's all part of a system, and you can't just listen to one individual strand. You have to kind of hear and understand the system as a whole, and I suppose kind of suspending your ego to listen to the land and hear what is necessary and recognise the kind of patterns which are emerging, within that, rather than imposing your own idea of what we should do with the land, and kind of being present in nature, I suppose. But also within the community itself, I think within the sensory process, deep listening comes up a lot. I think we talk a little bit about ghost roles here, or at least Sam, shout out to Sam, our community coordinator, who has studied process work, and he talks about ghost roles and this idea that there are, within group discussions, there's the ghost role of the deceased founder, right? There's a ghost role of, the oppressor or the victim. There's all of these kind of the voices which are absent within the room. It's really important to kind of tune into that. And
how do you do that? By reading things that they left behind, or a seance? How literal do you go with that?
There was talk of a seance at Halloween. I'm not sure if that happened.
We've done a seance on this show. We almost set the studio on fire.
Braziers has exorcisms in the past. You know, spirituality has been taken seriously within these walls. So
It's definitely a ghost.
That's secular, isn't it?
Right.
Okay, finally.
The final question that we try to ask everyone, what do you think it takes to be a good neighbour?
I will lead on this. Probably two things. Like sort of committed action, like just to say that you are going to do something and then actually do it. I think is an undervalued sort of skill, and also living here in community, sort of an appreciation or acceptance that you may not have caused the problem, but you are going to be responsible for the solution. Like there is a problem that has emerged from the community and you will have to take part in solving that, even if you don't feel you contributed to it, and that will take time and energy. And I think that is sort of, for me, living here, that is some of the good sort of neighbourliness.
Like climate change.
Like everything. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you very much, both.
Cheers, thank you guys.
So lovely to meet you. Thank you. Earlier today, me and a couple of the team, my flat cap friend from Croydon, went to the nearby town or village, Wallingford. Town. Feels quite villagey to me. I'm from the Big Smoke. And we attended their annual Winter Jazz and Blues Festival. It's co-organised by the star of this show in some ways, Maff Potts and the Camarados. And it had over 50 gigs across 17 venues. It's still going on tonight. Very exciting. Maff is an incredible jazz musician himself. And we have a little video of our day out. Hi, Maff.
Hi.
For the first time.
Yes.
Thank you for showing us around your town, where you are in the third year of your jazz festival.
Winter Blues and Jazz.
Winter Blues and Jazz. What's important about holding something like this in your community, do you think?
Well, part of it was doing it at the end of winter because February drags on and everyone's so blue, and you kind of get over Christmas and you just about survive January, but February's just too much. And so people came to us and said, we need something to cheer the town up. That was literally what they said. And then they said there's a lot of local businesses falling over in February because they just can't get to the end of the month. And I'm really pleased to say that last year we did a little round of all the tills and we increased profits by 800%, which means a till that had £800 in it had £6,000 in it instead. And so we did that across the board, and that was good.
I think every town needs a Maff.
No, they do not.
They do. You're bringing all the things. Does it bring like the local community together? Because one of the people that works with you was saying it does. Like people start hibernating a bit, and then it brings in people from outside as well.
Yeah.
Is that unique to it being based on art? Do you think?
Totally. Live music and any form of art form is the hope giver, right? Is the joy bringer, and you don't have to explain it. You feel it, right? So the whole festival opened at a family centre for families who are struggling a bit over there, and they have like a health visitor and they have a midwife and what have you. And I had 80 small kids from like 2 upwards doing a thing called Funky Friday, learning about James Brown, Stevie Wonder, Louis Armstrong, Ella Fitzgerald, and they were dancing and being alligators and being trains, and I was getting them to jump up and down. And it kind of does. The thing about this kind of music as well is it's such a broad church, right? Any age, anybody can feel it. And they always say, "Oh, I don't like jazz," and then they walk in a pub with like jazz going on. They're like, "I love this," And so actually, it allows you to do samba, ska, reggae, funk, blues, jazz. It's such a broad church. So the music itself is inclusive. Yeah,
see, I wouldn't have thought that. I like jazz, but I wouldn't have thought that it would incorporate so many age groups and actually so many other genres. But was that deliberate? Is that why you chose jazz, or are you a massive jazz aficionado?
I did not do that for that reason. I did it because I love jazz. I have, yeah.
Can you do some scatting for us on that note?
No.
Give it a bop, 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 booty. Tap
no.
dancing?
Well done. Oh, yeah. No, I can't. My joints don't work.
He's limping because he's been running from... How many venues have you got?
We've got 17 venues. We're doing 54 concerts in 3 days. And if all goes according to plan, the third thing we wanted to do with this festival is £22,000 should go into the pockets of professional musicians, artists who are also struggling in February. And so we're about 50 to 55 musicians will be getting paid this weekend. So that was really important to us because the people who run it, me, Fleur, Steve, we're all musicians.
Okay, and this is such a pretty, picturesque little town. I've never been here in my life. You're holding all of your gigs in non-chain places. They're all independently run. So I'm getting a really good feeling for it, but I can't help but notice that up a lot of the flagpoles are a lot of Union Jacks.
Huge number,
Can you tell us about that?
Well, it is one fella who it's his mission. He's part of the Raise the Flags movement, and he's putting the mob absolutely everywhere.
Well, if he loves flags so much, we do have a flag, which maybe you could introduce to him. And it's our famous...
Union Jill.
It's the Union Jill! Let's maybe think about getting a few more of these and sticking them up. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Grand. Okay, now it's time to introduce our next guests. We've got Nicolette Nichols from Haringey Community Food Network. Come and join us. Haringey Community Food Network is a network of growers, suppliers, emergency food providers, food banks, community kitchens, food support organisations all across the borough of Haringey in London. They take a collaborative approach to fighting food injustice in the communities, and they're part of an overdue conversation about real solutions to poverty, taking a whole food system approach to tackling food injustice. And Nicolette is a community activist who's a specialist in tackling social isolation, as well as running food banks, feeding people and addressing the loneliness epidemic that we've got in the UK today. So welcome, Nicolette. Thank you so much for coming. First of all, could you just tell us a bit about HCFN, Haringey Community Food Network? How did it get going?
Right, so the Haringey Community Food Network was founded by Sally and Musa, who founded it probably in 2020, around the pandemic. They recognised that obviously people are isolated, they're at home, they needed food parcels, and so they created and grew this food bank. But then it also grew into an organisation that realised that, you know, we're working in alleviating a certain small area of the issue, but who can we speak to? How many people can we work with? Who else is doing this? And so they created this network of different organisations, and it's grown to over 60 organisations that deal with food poverty, that have community kitchens, they deal with growers. And you know, they're just trying to deal with all of these organisations to help signpost, to provide information, to provide training to organisations, to people that vitally need it. But it's just creating those conversations and setting up these meetings. And you see Sally and Musa work tirelessly to organise these meetings, to have these conversations. But it's about you know, reducing food poverty through conversations, through communication, and just creating that network.
What does a whole food system approach look like in tackling food injustice?
Like I said, it's working with organisations that reduce food surplus. So you have all of this food waste that may end up in a landfill. We have a network of organisations, so text messages will go out, be here at this time to come and get this food. Contact all of your partners and get in your cars or be here at this place and tell people and distribute this food. So it's just working with people. It's trying to you know, ensure that the food doesn't end up in a landfill, because we know that we can do so much with surplus food. You know, you can cook meals for homeless people. You can distribute it through community kitchens. You can, you know, distribute it through the food banks, and it just tackles that social injustice that, you know, you've got all of these people that need food and they don't need to be starving because there is a surplus of food that's available.
What about those sort of supermarkets that pour bleach and stuff all over stuff? Do you ever like directly talk to them about that? Like,
of course we do.
Why do they do that?
Because there have been situations in the past where people have taken it down markets and sold it on, you know, but
still, though.
Yeah, but that is a small minority of people that do that. The large majority of people are doing, you know, they're doing well in their communities. They want to do good. They want to make sure that it goes to the right places. So we try and work with those organisations. We try and have those conversations. And organisations like the Felix Project work closely with them so they can ensure that it's being redistributed. But there's always going to be that cynicism in society, isn't there? That people, they don't believe that it's going to the right places. But that's a small minority.
Do you think it's got better? I think like there's more awareness, much more awareness.
It's become so much more knowledgeable. You know, we're educating people, we're sharing knowledge, we're sharing information, and it has, you know, people understand finally that nobody should go hungry. You know, nobody in this country, you know, there is enough food for, and there are enough honest people, you know, that no one should be starving, that there is enough food to distribute.
Yeah, it takes quite a certain type of person to think that everyone's incapable of doing an act of goodwill, so you better pour bleach on your leftovers.
Yeah, it really
says
does.
more about them, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, doesn't it? It says that, you know, you have this horrible view of the world that you think, rather than, you know, distributing that food, you're going to destroy it.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah, I think it's really weird. I think Alex has got a video.
We do, yeah, because when the Humanity Project started building the relationship with Haringey Community Food Network, Clare and others, a crew went down to meet with you and talk and see some of the growing. And so we've just got like a short 2-minute video to share some of the voices that have come out of the Haringey Community Food Network.
To be more human and need to hear from each other and not argue with each other. We need to reconnect with nature and reconnect with ourselves. I believe food is a really good way to connect with each other.
I think more and more people feel isolated, but they don't know how to connect to community. I think it's quite magical because you see them like sharing about their story and like enjoying the food and like really connecting more to other people. And then they suddenly like realize, actually I am valuable, I do have something to share. And I think that's quite beautiful.
I can see in the eyes of the people that they understand what we do is important, that what we do is not judging, is just to bring them together. This is the best way we can change things, is to inspire people. When you start to dig, you will find so many people who want to change for the positive and for society. Power will move from top to bottom up, but what I think this would change is it will bring people an impact of seeing they have agency and seeing that they can change the world and that they are important to others.
Well, I think it's a time where people feel very disempowered right now, and they feel like they have no agency and that what they do and their choices don't really matter and they won't move the state of things. So this will really give them the idea that actually if you do something and lots of people around you do something and you talk about it and you get them involved, you do have a lot of power. I think, well, we all have an idea of like what would work for us and the people around us. So we know our community, we know our spaces, we know exactly what is needed, and everybody could really contribute.
So those guys were working with Humanity Project and with the Haringey Community Food Network to organise the workshops, recipe sharing workshops called the Recipes of Love. Can you say a bit about that and why you think food and recipe sharing and story sharing and mixing those things together is such a good way to bring people together?
So that's Lorelei and Maxim, and they work with the Haringey Community Food Network. and they're amazing. You know, they've mobilised this what's manifested into a cookbook now, and it was like a grassroots organisation. You know, where they went round to community centres, they worked, and so I actually work with a community centre where we do a community kitchen and a food bank. They went round to these community centres. They asked us for people that could cook and create these recipes, and the beauty is that food is universal. It's a conversation everybody can relate to. They all have a story, they all have a favourite food that they love, and just watching these people in our community, the volunteers who came together and pulled together these recipes, but it was all coordinated by, you know, the Haringey Community Food Network, who they listened to the people, they wrote the recipes, they bought the ingredients, and then the food was cooked and given to the community, and then they sat down and talked about these stories and talked about why this recipe was important to them. And it was just beautiful to see, because it brought together a community and just the connection, the conversations. So there's Mina, who I can think of, that she's Moroccan. Her English isn't great, but she comes alive when she's talking about the recipes and her food and her community and her family and why it's important to her. And you had all of these people sharing their stories, and it just felt like such a beautiful experience, and hopefully that will be demonstrated in this cookbook that's produced at the end.
Oh, thank you.
Well, it's not the end, but yeah.
It's the end, guys.
Yeah,
it's the end. And quickly, to round things off, how do you think food can help us on a daily basis to be a better neighbour?
Oh, that's a difficult question.
We ask the difficult questions here at Good Neighbours.
How can it... Because, like I said, it's a conversation starter. You can speak to anybody about food. Somebody, you know, that you do not know, you can have a conversation with them about food. Tell me about your favourite recipe. Share a recipe with me. Or what did you have for breakfast today? It's just a conversation starter, and we can all relate. It's not like, oh, I don't know anything about that, you know, or why do you enjoy that? So it's just a way to communicate and to connect with people.
Should we start borrowing food again? When I was a kid, you used to knock on someone's door and borrow food. People think you're absolutely mental now. Let's start borrowing food, people.
I agree.
Go home and borrow a cup of sugar and bake yourself a cake.
We do it all the time where I live. I live on a boat in a basin in a community, and it's always on the WhatsApp. Has anyone got a tin of tomatoes? Has anyone got an onion?
He's a boat person. We need to listen to them. Thank you.
That's boaters for you.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Nicola.
Thank you. Now, next on the show, we are going to be hearing about Grub and Gripe, which is a simple share a meal, shoulder to shoulder concept that was created by somebody who lives here at Braziers Park. It gives everyone a chance to speak. It's just where people with opposing views meet in a local cafe or a restaurant. And Sam Settle, who can't be here today, spoke to Alex earlier on to discuss the project in more detail.
It did, and it was actually a longer talk, about maybe 15-20 minutes, and we've just clipped out a little bit for the show, obviously, but the full 15 minutes will be available for the whole of Braziers Park to watch. Sam was very keen to make sure I said that.
It's mandatory that you watch all of it.
Yeah. That's basically it, yeah.
Tell us a bit about what Grub and Gripe is and how it happened.
Grub and Gripe was an event, and maybe we hope it'll be an ongoing series of events for Wallingford, pointing over that direction, which is where it is, but possibly with the possibility of it expanding to other places as well. And it's basically getting people together who do not see the same on a particular issue. So people of unlike minds coming together. The first one that we held in December was on the raising of the St. George's and the UK flag up lampposts by private citizens. And that's what we did. Invited about 10 people who were in favor of the flags being raised and 10 people who feel differently, who don't agree with it and feel negative about it, and a few people who are sort of in the middle. Got them into a cafe for the evening, and then assigned each to a table of about 3 or 4 people. Each person at the table had 4 or 5 minutes to speak on the question of how do you feel about the flags and what brought you out tonight? And the others at the table had to just listen. So it was a kind of listening, speaking exercise. And everybody at the table had a chance to do that.
What came out of that event for you?
The value was that people know now that they can come together and talk about really heated issues. I mean, there were people who took a lot of convincing to come, and there were some people who didn't come. It's a hot topic, nationally, locally, especially. There's tons of flags up in Wallingford, and the fact that people know that they can come and that a space can be held where, yes, it took some courage to even walk through the door, but then with the right container and the right support, the right kind of background work, that those kind of discussions can happen. Yeah. There wasn't any great resolution. We never aimed to resolve anything, to say, yes, flags are good or flags are bad. And it was just to get people to come together and disagree agreeably. And that happened.
Yeah.
People had been heard, and they heard people who were on the other side, and they had a chance to be heard by people on the other side, and that's changed things.
Do you think it will have ripples in Wallingford?
I think so. I imagine it is having ripples already. I can't say, and it's quite hard to quantify. I think the people who participated see the value in coming together instead of just staying on social media and responding that way.
Yeah.
I think there's something about conflict, if we can realize it's a way of transforming groups, transforming relationships, and not shy away from it and kind of get comfortable with it and not think we're doing something wrong by there being conflict or tension, but sort of moving towards it, getting interested in it.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. Thanks Sam.
Alex. Yeah.
Great. So, moving on to speak with somebody else who's expert in bringing people together. We've got Ruby Bakari now from Lambeth joining us. She's been working on the Brixton's Black People's Assembly in collaboration with many groups, but also Humanity Project earlier this week, and also the campaign Shake It Up, which is mobilising new people to run in politics, using assemblies to inform them, and thinking about how they can hold local politicians to account. Also running critical literacy processes, focusing on political education locally, whilst building the assembly culture at the same time. And she herself is running to be an independent councillor for Acre Lane in Brixton, and she's the founder of Ruthless International, great name, a social justice organisation that's been running for the last 8 years. So welcome, Ruby.
Welcome. Hello, thank you for being here.
Well, welcome, and thanks for joining us. The first thing I wanted to ask you is if you can tell us a little bit more about independent candidates, because it feels like it's really key to what you're doing. It's potentially really key to this sort of, we live in a new political world, I think, where the two-party thing's kind of gone, and I've lived with it my whole life. So what do you think about the way that independent candidates can work through your lens of working in Lambeth?
I think ultimately it's having people who are in the local council that are accountable. See, the people you can go and have conversations with, people that you can go and grab and say, you know what, you told me that you were going to do this for me and you didn't do it for me. And sometimes when you're in party politics, those people get lost. And sometimes when people are part of different party organisations, they actually don't even live in the ward. They're not present in the ward, they're not engaging with people in the ward. So knowing that Auntie Sally down the block is my councillor and I can go have a conversation with her, X, Y and Z is happening, I think that's really, really important. And ultimately what we really want to do is make sure that people who are in the local community feel empowered and feel encouraged to get involved in local politics. Right now in the UK, we're at an all-time high where political apathy is growing. You feel like, I've run about 6 different public assemblies over the last 2 months.
And the number one thing that always comes back is nothing's going to change. Nothing makes a difference. I've been trying for 20 years, 30 years, X, Y, and Z has been happening, but nothing makes an ounce of difference. But it can if we're organised, and it can if we're strategic about it. So if we get local people who are from the community, who have different wealths of experience, right? So someone who's a social worker, a youth worker, someone's worked security, going and running in the local council, that's going to make a massive difference as well. That's going to empower the younger generation to think, actually, wait a minute, local politics isn't that alien to me. I can actually go and do it myself. That's ultimately what we want. What we want in the council is real people. We don't want people who are career politicians, people who think it's going to look really good on my CV, I'm going to go in Novara Media, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to be on the front page of everything. What we want is someone who knows everyone in the block, everyone in the neighbourhood, understands what we're going through as Lambeth residents, and fight for them.
Very good. Have you got a gripe with someone who went on Novara Media?
No. Maybe a few people.
Was it Clare?
No, I just think sometimes the jargon people use is so technical, and you feel like you need a 2 master's degree to just understand what they're saying. But fundamentally, just tell me the toilet's up the left. You don't need to give me convoluted directions. The toilet's right there. That's what we need, right? We need someone who can get through to people. And the other thing is, if you're going to go speak to your councillor or organisers or activists, people don't have time to waste. There are so many things going on in people's lives. They just want clear-cut communication, and people from the community will understand that.
How are you trying to get people involved? Are they resistant? And what are your tactics to be like, this is going to be great, you're going to be the next Prime Minister, whether you like it or not?
Do you know, I had a really great conversation with Musa, who's just sitting over there, a couple of weeks ago. And we had a conversation about the fact that we're from Lambeth. We have the highest percentage of Latina community in the whole of UK there. We have a massive Afro-Caribbean community as well. We have 10% South Asians, me. And then we also have a very white working class environment as well. All of these demographics coming together, having conversations and things like that. Now, what we really want... Sorry, I've forgotten the question.
How are you trying to encourage them to get on board with politics when they might be a bit apathetic?
So what you really have to understand is different demographics want to hear information differently. You know, my aunties in the South Asian community love a WhatsApp. Put something on WhatsApp and you can spread it out there and get information out there. So communicating on a level that people want to be heard and listened to is really, really important. Having the public assemblies that we've had across different wards in Lambeth is also really important. We've done the whole of Brixton, so there's 4 wards in Brixton. We've done Stockwell, we've done Clapham, we've got another one coming in Clapham next week. Going there and asking people 2 questions fundamentally. 1, what is your relationship like with Lambeth Council? Areas of improvement. And second, and this is the most important question, is what does your ideal councillor look like? Most people don't even know what the role and responsibility of a councillor is. Can I ask a question to everyone in the room? Have you ever had a conversation with your local councillor?
Yes.
Put your hands up if you have.
This is Braziers Park. not representative of most of the country.
Here's the thing, most people don't even know what a councillor does.
In most places, no hands go up. No hands for that question.
So I think fundamentally, 1, it's the political education, right? Did you know that you're going through X, Y, and Z? You're having all of these issues, and your councillor is your first line of defence. Your councillor is the person who's supposed to protect you in all of these environments. You know your energy company, when they start charging you an extortionate amount of money, you CC your councillor in, your energy bill will go back to what it was.
I am fond of CCing in an MP to the point that they go, please stop CCing me.
It's true. And that's exactly what we need to do, is political education, civic education, and communication in the manner that people want to be communicated to. In Brixton, right, we love food and drink. Bring free food, bring free drink, good music, talk for 20 minutes, not anything longer, and let people get on with it.
I heard that in Brixton you can't get anyone to go to a community meeting unless there's chicken.
Chicken and curry goat, and then we're good.
Food is the answer. That should be
true. But like Nicolette said, food is what brings people around the table.
Very true.
So what effect would it have if there's a big success in one area, say Lambeth, and there's a big influx of independents. What's the vision of what does it make happen?
Ideally, what we want, right? Like, this is a long-term project. So this is the legacy of the younger generation that come through Lambeth. What we really want is we're the guinea pigs, right? We're going to go and try this. Everything we learn, everything is going to be handed to you. The minute you're born in the local hospital, you'll get this case file. Like, you know, this is what we've done. Exactly. All the trial errors, lessons learned, all of this is what you get. What we really want is like young kids from the age of primary school. They go to after school clubs, they learn karate and dancing and everything that they need to learn, right? Then in secondary school, they start thinking about volunteering and civic purposes in the community. So this is a legacy you get. So after I pass, or the people who are part of it now pass, it keeps trickling down. Now that's just in Lambeth. If someone in different boroughs across London wants to take our case file and copy it, we will give you the resources. We will support you, we'll tell you what we're right and what we're wrong. But what's really important is the demographics in Lambeth are quite unique. It might not work in your borough, but you can take it and trial it and see what happens there.
Could you end up becoming a political party?
A political party? We might do. But I don't agree. I mean, this is controversial, but I think at the local level, we shouldn't even have party politics. It's fundamentally the local council working with its residents. And what happens in the local council is that all the decisions about budgets, strategies, communication, design, it all becomes party politics. And local residents don't need that. We just need decisions made for our best interest.
Yeah.
Keep it local.
Exactly.
Great. Okay. Last question. What do you think makes you a good neighbour?
Me, a good neighbour. I cook good food.
Yay! Excellent.
My door's always open. Yeah,
I'm coming round.
Come round.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, no, I can throw down.
All right, great. So nice to meet you. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
We have a segment that happens in every show that I think would be really good to play now, because we're talking about politics and candidates. So we're going to do Britain's Got Tarot. Okay? Ready?
Welcome to Britain's Got Tarot. Today we will be asking the cards the most important question vexing the minds of the nation. What will happen in the Gorton and Denton by-election? I have drawn 3 cards. The card that signifies what has led us to this place is the High Priestess. The High Priestess stands in front of a thin veil. She is the guardian of the subconscious and signifies spiritual enlightenment. Things are changing. People, be still, voters. Trust your intuition. The second card is the 3 of Cups, reversed. 3 women raise glasses in celebration. But reversed, this card invites us to find our own path, to not conform, do not be co-opted by what the powers of business as usual say you have to do. This is the message to voters as they enter the booth. The third card signifies the future. It is the 8 of Swords, also reversed. A woman bound and blindfolded asks us to remove the blindfold and see that it is easy to escape the ties that bind us. This card sums up that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and the things that we once held as unescapable are anything but. 3 cards, 5 strong women. The stars are aligned for the by-election.
Great. Well, that's that sorted then. Can all relax next week. Okay.
Right. Well, now we have 2 new guests. One has the name, I find it very hard to pronounce, Mike Oswestry.
He's from Oswestry.
Fuck. You didn't say that. Okay, Mike, sorry, I've only highlighted those bits. Well, there we go. Where's Oswestry?
From the Welsh borders.
Oswestry, okay. We have Mike, where are we looking? Oh, you. Oh, sorry, camera-wise. No, I will also look at you in a minute. Okay, now. Hello, welcome back. Now we have Mike from Oswestry. And we have Phil from Ridge Hill Together. Now that sounds like they're together, but actually Ridge Hill Together is a company. Maybe you're also together. Maybe you're in a relationship. Would you like to join us on this sofa? How long have you two been dating?
2 minutes. 2 hours.
We're bringing people together, hearts and minds.
It's actually inspired by Blind Date.
Yeah, what, in this jacket? You're quite similar, actually. Yeah.
So, Oswestry Climate Action Hub is based in North Wales. The mission is to make, share, grow, repair with a focus on skill sharing. They also hold film nights, community workshops and advice centres in the firm belief that climate action shouldn't weigh you down with the feeling that you aren't doing enough, but we should energise each other through the work. We've also got Mike from... Oh, sorry. It's my turn.
Yeah.
So Mike Bastow from Oswestry Climate Action Hub. Welcome to the sofa.
Thank you.
Oh, and now I say something.
You do.
What do I say?
You say that.
Okay, good. I haven't even been drinking. Why is it important to connect with people through the act of making?
I think it's you, mate. What's the question again?
Did I ask it that badly?
I thought you were introducing Phil, sorry.
The questions are for you first, and then we'll go to Phil for next batch
yeah.
of questions.
Do you want me to do it in a Welsh
know what's
accent?
going on.
Your choice. Yeah.
You don't have a Welsh accent.
No. We're in Shropshire, just on the Welsh border.
Oh, I see. Do you like
Yeah.
my Welsh accent? Is that right?
Very good.
You like it?
Yeah.
All right. Why is it important to connect with people through the act of making?
Why is it important?
Why is it important? Would you like to read it?
No, I'm there. I've got it now.
Okay,
so, what we're doing is building resilience in communities and bringing them together, and but also we're creating transformation. We're building a new pathway, a new system, because of the shit show that's called politics today. And what that does to climate, and what that does to social justice and everything else that we have in our town. And I think there's an entry point that's needed there for people to come, and we've got a physical place that people can come into. So, and then it's about asking them to do something. So we ask them to do whatever they want to do, make, share, grow, repair. So repair clothes together, swap clothes. So we've taken over another building down the main street there, and people can come in, and we've got people that can come and help. So that's their entry point, really, to create and change.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Great. And has the work that you've done, I've seen that you've done stuff with like all the repair cafes, feels like that's a really natural point of synergy in our sort of wider network between people who are doing things that address poverty issues. It's quite good for people to fix things rather than have to throw everything away.
Yeah.
Is it influencing other people in your region or in Wales or in other parts of England to sort of do similar stuff? Have you seen a sort of inspiration?
Yeah, there's a network of, for example, repair cafes into towns within Wales that are connected, and they share their skills, and they move around to Llangollen, for example, down the Dee Valley. So yeah, there's a real kind of wider network as what's happening now, I think, in terms of a national network, because it's like, if we do it all together, then we get the change, and then we get to run the country how we want to. So it's just great to be here with all these amazing people that are doing the same.
What's your favourite thing someone's brought in to repair?
Well, there's a story of the Kendal mint cake. So it's not repair, but we've got to a place, it's not easy doing change and being in your town and, and sort of bringing people together. It takes work. But we've got stories of we put stuff out there and then something comes back. It's like these magical kind of things start to happen when you just keep going and working together. And somebody came in and said, "Oh, I've got some Kendal mint cake," and so they was like, "Yeah, well, that's great," and we just like sharing because it's all circular economy. And the next person came in and said, "You haven't got any Kendal mint cake, have you?" And it's just
what is that cake? I've never heard of that in my life.
It's like a big lump of sugar that you use for walking. Basically, it's like a very traditional 1960s kind of recipe but
it's mint and sugar to get your energy up when you're up a mountain.
Yeah. So
wow. So you sort of made it, and then someone just instinctively came in and wanted it.
Somebody brought it in, and then the next person came in and asked for that.
And asked
it's
for
quite rare. You don't see it.
It's pretty weird.
I've never even heard of it. It's really weird. Yeah, exactly. Brilliant. Okay, that's it. I'm struggling to reach my own.
I think Jess does now need a drink. So let's bring you in, Phil, because Phil's from Ridge Hill Together. That's charity in Stalybridge, right? Supporting 4 estates. That's what I've got down here.
Yeah.
A hub that brings people together, a space for local people to meet for mental health, gardening, education, advice, and celebration. So Phil Brook.
Yeah, well, thanks very much. The first thing I've got to do is thank Alex for giving me a quick call and saying, look, we need a talker northern voice on this TV. He said, that's the only reason why you'll be sat on the sofa. And I said, Alex, we've got some great projects going on. All right. But thanks for everybody making me welcome. Yeah. Ridge Hill Together. It's the future of a couple of projects that have come to an end, so that we get sustainability going forward. We've done some amazing stuff up on the hill. It literally is on a big hill in Stalybridge. One of the major successes that we've had is around healthcare, because Ridge Hill was an overflow from Manchester, so they shoved everybody on an overflow decades ago, up on Ridge Hill with no support for health. There's no doctors, there's no clinics, there's no chemists. Through talking to the community, we found, doing an audit through one of the projects, 70% of people at over 50 identify themselves as being in poor health. That's really resonated, and we've now managed to get the local PCN looking to bring doctors up to the community, which is absolutely amazing. We've started off with the clinics, so we're having all the different clinics going on. We've got support from the local housing, Jigsaw Housing, and we're even going to get the mayor visiting in the next couple of weeks because of the idea that we're doing. So it's absolutely amazing. And the key point for me there is we've got to listen to the community. You know what I mean? And we've always said, we want to do things for ourselves. We don't want everything done for us, but you need to help us to do the stuff. And by giving the voice of the community into the system, that's what we're doing. I think one of the other highlights, I've heard lots today about food. We do a bread and butter thing, which is a food bank basically. So we're doing all that. 100 people coming along getting food parcels every week. The other thing that really touches me, which I think is amazing, is around tree planting. So we've started tree planting around the estate. So we've had around 200 to 250 trees planted. But they're not just planting a tree, these are memorial trees. So everybody who plants a tree, it's in memory of somebody loved who they've lost, which I think is absolutely amazing. The other big focus for me in particular is we've got to hear the voices of the people who are seldom heard, because the danger is we listen to the same voices all the time. So there's got to be a big focus on those behind the closed doors. So even with the trees, we've taken them through. There's a house there that's for 30 people with learning disabilities. We've taken the trees to them, and they've planted a tree in a pot which they can see grow. So that's the sort of stuff we're doing on Ridge Hill. It's early days, we've got a lot of work to do, but it's a great start, and we're up north as well. All right, Alex? Thanks very much. Thank you.
Why are intergenerational connections important?
I think it's so important for listening to what I've been listening to today. It just reinforces it that we need to bring the generations together, because there's a lot of what's seen as disrespect for older people and the fear of the younger people. But when you talk to the younger people, they've got a fear of the older people as well. So, so we can't just see it from one side. So bringing the generations together is such an amazing thing to do, And one of the things we've done is, I think when I took the job engagement, to me it was getting a clipboard and asking questions, but what's really come relevant to me, there's so much more to it than that. It's about arts, it's about craft, it's about having fun. You don't need to be sat there just asking that. You've got to make things fun. And that's what we've tried to do, even to the extent of we've created our own song, Ridge Hill Together. We're all in this together, and that includes the generations as well. Yeah. We're all in this together. That'll do.
I love that.
Okay. And should we just say finally, for to both of you, what do you think it takes to be a good neighbour?
Big heart.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. And I think the other is we've got to care, and we've got to break the boundaries, and we've got to be prepared to do different things. And even if it's hard work, we need to be prepared to push through that, because it's work.
And have a sing-song.
And have a sing-song.
And have a sing-song.
Yes, honestly, music is the food of love.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're all right. Okay. Cheers.
And now let's just go over to Alex. He's going to introduce Marsh Farm Outreach.
Silence on the set, please.
Right, I think we're getting to the end of the evening, aren't we? So we. Sadly, sadly or not, these are also our final guests. So when I, as the long-suffering producer for Good Neighbours, when I called Phil, he answered. Northern voice, brilliant. When I called Mike, he answered, brilliant. When I called Nicolette, she answered. When I called Sophie, she answered. There's a lot of Luton and Marsh Farm. They blocked my numbers, haven't they? So we'd actually spoke to Revolution Arts, who had a brilliant video of Glenn explaining the project at Marsh Farm Outreach. But he's here in person, so we don't need to play it. So I'm just going to welcome Glenn, and hopefully also Sydney, who also didn't call me back, onto the sofa as our last guests on Good Neighbours. Woo!
Big up Marsh Farm.
All right.
It's the late night crew.
I didn't know it was on last. I've had a few beers now.
That's all right.
Keep it short.
Okay. So, welcome. Marsh Farm, I'm just going to say a few things. It's a workers' cooperative operating at the Marsh Farm estate in Luton since 2005. Focused on improving the economic and democratic opportunities for people there. The residents there live in an estate which suffers quite a severe level of economic deprivation and social challenges. They've already engaged well over 1,000 residents and mobilised voluntary labour for the community that could be valued at over £100,000 and brought a formerly derelict farmhouse back into community use, plus turning a closed down factory into a 65,000 square foot community enterprise centre. So quite an impressive CV there for community organisers. Sydney Sambu's a photographer and an organiser, and Glenn Jenkins doesn't really need any introduction. If you're part of our network, he's one of the main figures at Marsh Farm Outreach, so welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
I met you both over dinner yesterday, and it was very. This is a town hat.
Luton town hat.
Well, that's the thing. Well, now that I'm with the Mayor of Luton, or the Nightmare of Luton, in the best possible way. You're both a couple of legends. Tell us about the art of creating hope. I know who I'm directing this to. You?
I think Glenn would be best suited for this.
How do you like to generate hope?
Do you know what? I was thinking this earlier actually. Hope in a place like this is what you guys are doing, yeah? And the whole hope of a better way of living where it's not hoarding and competing. You know, capitalism is hoarding and competing, yeah? Whereas sharing and cooperation is, I think, a spiritually sound way of life, yeah? So what you do here is show that there is this kind of existence that you can have. And I love what you were saying about, you know, what you do here, you then take it out into the wider world and plant those seeds out there. So I think this is a great place to be talking about hope, because that is the hope for me, is that people share and cooperate rather than hoard and compete with each other, which you're trained from school. And it's like a spiritual madness, it's backwardness, you know. It's like, what kind of family would hoard and compete with each other all the time? You know, a healthy family sits around a table, everyone's catered for, holistic approach, all of that. So the hope is that we as a people in this country, particularly in this country, because we've got to admit we're kind of heart of the evil empire here, isn't it? When you look at the British Empire and you look at an American empire now and all of this, you know. So I think we can do some significant change making here in the UK, you know, and I think that feels like a duty to me. And I think that the whole bottom-up democracy approach is crucial here, because at the moment, even with the democracy we have, you vote and then you wait 5 years. Matey goes and sells out, looks after himself or herself, and power and party politics, everything other than what they said they were doing. So popular assemblies every 3 months to hold our community representatives accountable, full on, face on to the community is part of the big gap, the yawning gap that's in democracy, I think. So assemblies are more than just a happy jamboree at local level where we can do stuff. It's about democracy and whether it works for people or not.
Can you say a few more things, maybe go to you, Sydney, about like the assemblies, what's planned, what's happening, you know, how do you see them working?
Well, assemblies, in my opinion, is how I think society and community should be run, because it decentralizes power. So one neighborhood might have a problem with rubbish collection, and the other's got a problem with the electric or the distribution of food. So I think by way of getting in touch with the communities themselves and what they need and what is needed, it becomes easier for central governments to figure out what resources need to go where. So in my opinion, what we're doing here at Braziers is very, very important and fundamental to the change that we need to see in the future. When we look at the world is changing in how it consumes everything, from how we consume data, how we consume food, and how we consume our own relationships. It's all changing. So it's only fair that our politics and the way that we treat one another changes in unison with what is happening. So with what we're doing in Marsh Farm is that we're going out every 3 months and we're collecting listenings throughout all our neighborhoods. We're listening to what people are saying, what do they need, what is important, how do they feel about their their community, and what changes would they like to see. And we go back and convene a meeting, and everybody anyone can participate in the neighborhood can come in, and we have a sort of a round table. It'll be not necessarily a round table, but a room full of people, and we'd come and sit inside, and we discuss and see what is important and what can we change, and who can we hold accountable. In our model, what we're looking at is bringing in the head of services to come in and discuss with us and see how their decisions is affecting our community, and how they can take that back to their decision making, and find out how could they best distribute the funds that are needed in our community.
Amazing, great. Can you, Glenn, tell us a bit more about the farmhouse, how you got hold of it, because it's such an interesting story.
So it's actually our 5th derelict that we've restored in Luton, and because I'm a squatter, that's what I am, I'm a squatter, and because if you're waiting for permissions with a derelict flat, there's something wrong with you, I'll tell you. I always used to drive past this hotel in Luton. It was shut for 7 years, and we thought, before, I come from a rave background, we put on big raves and all that, and big raves means lots of people means lots of power to make changes, because many hands make light work. If you can get hundreds of people involved in something, that's going to make a difference. If there's 2 of you, they're just going to nick you and throw you out the gaff, you know what I mean? So I come from that background, but before we squatted it, before we took direct action, we were going to paint on this wall, "This is an insult to Luton's homeless," But then we thought, nah, stuff that, let's just occupy it, right? So when we occupied it, and we made the case to the owner, who'd left it empty for 7 years, we should be able to get our housing benefit, which is, because we're all long-term unemployed people, Our housing benefit is currently given to landlords who are sitting 5 up in some rotten gaff, not even fixing the taps. So that money, which a public purse is paying to support homeless people, is being exploited and rinsed by landlords on a monumental scale. So our job was, forget that, we'll do it ourselves, So we formed a co-op called Housing Action Zone, and we took over this place, and we put a proposal to them saying, look, we get housing benefit, and that money will be used to restore this derelict building. Not wages, materials, and we did that. So we're now on our 5th derelict that we've restored using that kind of concept. And it don't mean more money, because we ain't got no money. It means making more sensible use of the money you've got. And the farmhouse we occupied now is where I live, Marsh Farm, is an estate, 3,200 households, council estate. Half it's been sold off to buy-to-let landlords now, And what we did is we took this farmhouse, which used to be the farm for the farm when it was a farm, for hundreds of years, and the council let it go derelict and dead completely. So we occupied it, didn't have to squat it, we just told them, look, we will squat it, but because we'd done that before, they thought, okay, they will. So we said, let's do a rent earned agreement, Instead of us squatting it, we will squat it if you don't do this, but rent earned agreement, which meant we get a quantity surveyor, one of my mates, who comes in and says, right, the value of the work done so far is X. As Claire said, 100 grand's worth of work, right? So that's like 10 years rent payment. And then we took it to the next level. We had to do a business plan and say, what we're going to do with this, a better use plan, we call it. And that said bar, radio station, recording studio, and that's all come to pass now. And all of that's happened. It's created about 6 or 8 jobs there, full-time people doing arts, and it's turned we call it turning dust to soil. What was waste and rubbish. And I don't just mean the building, I mean the people whose skills are being frustrated at home and that, So put all that together and you can create magic from that. And if there's music involved as well, you go in there.
Yay!
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Helps if you've got a sound system.
Helps a lot. Helps a lot.
What's your sound system like?
Exodus. Yeah, I first, back in the day, we put on like free parties were getting squashed everywhere. It was the only place I could afford to go was a free party because it's free. And next thing, there's helicopters and bright lights and dogs and police and, blimey, we've gone out in the middle of nowhere, what's your problem? And because they kept doing that, we thought, let's just make a stand in our own town. Yeah, so we started looking around, and there weren't no shortage of empty buildings. So from farms, warehouses, barns, quarries are beautiful, man, in the morning when the sun's coming up, you know. And we started in June '92, 150 people at the first one. 6 months later, 10,000 people. Yeah, and 10,000 people, unbeknown to me, drops club and pub profits 40% in Bedfordshire. So we got our asses kicked, man, I'm telling you, because it's like Malcolm X said once, you know, we can march, they're all right with that because police get overtime. We can publish because the publisher gets the money. But as soon as you say, we're going to bake our own bread, the National Bakers Union said, what? What? That's our contract to serve bread. You know what I mean? As soon as you trouble their business, they're coming for you. And that's why organisation in communities is crucial, but it takes numbers. If there's few of you, you know what I mean, right? If there's many of you, as Jeremy Corbyn would call it, that's why they sacked him off. But anyway, if there's many of you, then, you know, many hands make light work.
Yeah. Have you got a big crew down in Luton supporting the cause?
We got a great crew, man. We got a beautiful crew of people. Our people have been there for decades, man. That's
I want
the
to
thing.
come. I think we're going to come and try and visit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's not only the crew. It's like when that house I'm telling you about. When we finally got it, and we're like, okay, we've done it up. We've rescued it first, and now we've turned it into something beautiful. The council turn around and say, we never made no deal about rent earned. You got to pay us 20 grand a year rent now because it's back to good, yeah. And luckily we'd taped it, hadn't we? We taped the meeting with him where he promised, yeah. So they took us to court, and we went bang on the and they go, oh, all right, we'll back off. Do you know what I mean? So our crew, on that occasion, we had to blow a whistle, and there was 200 to 300 people down the town hall in 3 days, outside, and not just outside saying, "Well, come in there and make a protest," because we've done that a few times actually, you know. And if you've got that willingness to take non-violent, peaceful, but firm. Yeah, we're not here to be buoyed off. We're not here to say, oh yeah, next week. Nah, we're here to say, look, there's lots of us. You've ripped us off, and then so that's an example of there's not 200 people there all the time, but when you blow a whistle,
they'll come.
They're there.
You got a crew. I think you've got a few more now. I'm moving to Luton.
She's got a Luton town out.
I do. I didn't even know. I didn't know I had something else.
Well, there's also a bit of historical mystery about Mush Farm and Mush House, and with the place where Mush House is built is the source of the River Lee. So it's a major tributary to the Thames, and
which runs to the Thames.
Yeah, yeah. So it's right
so
in the.
Come down on a boat if you want.
I will.
Alex.
Team day out. Thank you so much. Are you guys up for playing a giant game of snakes and ladders with us?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we just need one of you to represent. I know that doesn't sound fun, and it might not be, because we're just experimenting.
Let's go, man. Let's do it.
All right, okay, you're drunk, you can do it. Okay, now we need a representative from each place.
She says you're drunk, you can do it.
Yeah, I think two. Let's go for two.
Just two people.
So what needs to happen now? Is that you're going to get up out your seats and push them back. We're going to clear the space here. Is this okay with everyone? The last thing, and then you can go. Is that all right? Yeah, brilliant. All right. So let's get up, push the sofas back and the chairs back, clear this stuff out of the middle. And what we're going to do is we're going to play a game of snakes and ladders. It's life size. It's round here somewhere, isn't it? The board. Come on then. Let's spread this out on the ground.
Big dice, isn't it?
Big dice. We got a big dice.
There's a big
There you go.
So do you both so you start from over there?
You're drunk enough.
You should be facing that way.
Right. First of all, thank you all so much for being a brilliant audience. I mean, you've also been brilliant guests. Anyway, it's all about grabbing hope, isn't it? So let's grab the hope that this is going to be fun.
Sounds quite aggressive, doesn't it?
So
No.
we're going to have two volunteers. So we'll get someone from Marsh Farm, and who else would like to play?
We need someone to take down Marsh Farm. Come on.
Yeah, who's going to take down Marsh Farm?
Come on.
Mike.
Let's go, Mike.
Mike from
Come on,
Oswestry.
Mike. Okay. So over here. You're both there because that's number one. Okay. All right, Mike. No, it's just
Yeah,
you
the two of you. Right.
Right, should we flip a coin to see who goes first?
Have you got a coin?
No one has a coin.
Yeah. Okay, right.
All right, you're going first. Okay.
I'm going to explain the rules. Musa, we're going to explain the rules.
Alex.
You're too late, mate. You missed it. Right, the rules are, you throw the dice, you move along. If you land on a ladder, you get asked a question. And if you answer that question, which is all about grabbing hope, you go up the ladder. If you don't, you stay there and it passes on to the next person. If you also get to the top of a snake, you get asked a question. And if you get it right, you don't go down the snake. And we're going to play for about 5 or 6 minutes, and it's whoever is furthest along is the winner, and you will be crowned. There we go.
We will douse you in wine. Can we have a big party after this? Good. Okay, so I think, Mike, you should go first. Okay, so throw the... We could have some background music.
I'll get some background music.
Yeah. Oh, 2. Okay, move 2. Great, okay. Do you know what? Fine, because we don't have long. Okay, so here's your question. Shh. Okay. It's the year of the fire horse, in case we didn't mention. Symbol of energy and independence. How do you improve your energy and independence? Is it A, volunteer at a community project like Braziers Park, or B, spend your life savings on a sports car to impress all your friends?
I volunteer in a life project.
What? Then come on up that ladder! Okay. Here we go. Glenn, throw away. Whoa! Attack. Oh, 6! Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, God. Okay, fine. How can we speed this up? Just go to... No, stay there. Let's play by the rules, sort of. Let's just play quickly. Right, go. Okay, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Okay. Come on. I think you just need to go to the next ladder. I think that's how this has got to work. Yeah. Just get to the ladder. Okay. Yeah, we haven't really thought this game through. But you know, there's something there. Okay. Who do you trust to run state education? A party whose entire leadership went to private school and who actively hate the poor, or Kermit the Frog?
The poor haters.
No! Glenn, for God's sakes! Okay, right, your turn. This is what happens. You drink beer and you start hating the poor. Right, okay. Here we go. 1, just 1. 6. 1 to the next ladder. So suddenly, really, this is obsolete. You just get to throw something. Okay. They're just all coupling up, our guests. Such an interesting... okay. Former Prince Andrew was arrested on his birthday 2 days ago. And not even for the most obvious reasons. What should happen to him? A, throw him into piranha-infested waters. B, give him another palace to live in that we fund and ask him to think about what he's done.
What do you think, Glenn? Piranhas?
I can smell fish.
Whoa!
Right, here we go.
There needs to be a sense of competition here. It's a fight of...
Go on, son.
Right, throw it.
I'm nearly home, look.
Well, you're nearly home. Nearly Luton. Okay.
One man.
On to the next ladder. Oh no, there's
What happens to the snake? What do you do? What happens if you land on a snake?
No, stay on the snake because you might go down it.
Okay.
Okay, number 5 question. We've only got 2 more. The baby macaw punch who went viral this week. Did everyone see that? Rejected by its mother.
Oh yeah.
I love that no one uses a phone here. This will be obsolete, this question now. He was basically rejected by his mum, and it was like heartbreaking footage of this little monkey that the mum was just going, get away, and it was like, whoa! So they gave it an IKEA teddy that it then thought was its mum, until finally a totally different monkey gave it a hug after a week. It was heartbreaking. So based on that, baby macaw Punch was rejected by his mum and spent months clinging to a stuffed IKEA toy, and finally this week got a hug from another monkey. What does Punch teach us? A, that community, patience and solidarity can heal even the deepest wounds. B, that IKEA genuinely does have everything.
I think IKEA does have everything.
It's true. Go up the snake.
Come on. And that one, look, here we go. Look. We're joined again.
We've got 2 more and they're about our host. Okay, so you have to just go to the next ladder. There's no point throwing that thing.
Not throwing that. I like throwing the dice though.
Okay, throw it.
Right, ready?
Okay, and the next question is, our show producer and Croydon's finest, Alex Lockwood, recently signed up to Andrew Tate's mailing list for research purposes. This is true, but then said to me over breakfast this morning, some of the emails are actually really nice and encouraging. Should he A, leave the mailing list ASAP and go for a walk in nature and think about what he said? Or B, start taking steroids and start a new podcast called Men's Feelings Are the Best?
Before I get Alex's steroids out, right, Andrew Tate, you know where he comes from?
Luton!
You know what state he comes from?
Nice farm. No way! What?
He does. He does.
Do you know him?
No, I know his mum, but I don't know him.
No, his mum. What's his mum like?
I don't know her personally, but she's still there. But Andrew Tate comes from Marsh Farm.
Weird.
So that's one of our more negative exports that we got there. But the point is, steroids.
Yeah!
Steroids.
Yeah! Right, down the snake, down the snake.
Oh, down the snake.
Okay, all right. Final question, throw the dice. Final question. Okay, so you have the option to just come to the end. Okay, so the final question, our show...
I was lost and now I'm found.
Clare Farrell, one of our founders, is renowned for her style, having previously worked in fashion before becoming an activist. If you were to buy her a piece of clothing as a gift, what would she favour? A, something conservative made in a factory and in muted colours. B, something so brightly coloured it can be seen from space.
I think it says it all, doesn't it?
It says it all.
Seen from space, yeah.
You're the winner!
God, Sam.
Here you go.
There we go.
Can we have...
How does it feel to win a completely pointless game that made no sense?
I hate it. I hate hierarchy.
Right, come here. Wear it together.
No,
wear it together.
No,
wear it
we
together.
don't want it.
We're rejecting the monarchy completely. Bless you. Thank you, Claire. Clare Farrell. That was flawless game. Flawless game.
Flawless game show.
I'm the queen.
There you go.
Thank you. That will be it. Thank you so much for joining us. We love you. We ask you to join us for a dance as we play one more time.
Well, firstly though, just to say we'll be back on March the 27th with the BBC special. May include one of our friends who's running for the DG position. Make sure that you all start buying the Byline Times because we've got a double-page spread in there every month about the fate of Britain, which is our campaign. And big thank you to everyone here. Braziers Park, thank you very much. Haringey Community Food Network. Oswestry Climate Hub. Ridge Hill Together. Marsh Farm Outreach. Grub and Grape. Wallingford Winter Jazz and Blues Festival, and especially my props. And thanks to all the team at the Humanity Project and everyone for being a good neighbour.
Big